And we're live here. So, guys, welcome to the first edition of Red Corner vs. Blue Corner, a new web series on FightCornerNews.com. I'm your host, Evan Smith, and today we have our two contestants. In the red corner, hailing from Philadelphia, we have Jermaine Perry,
South Philly, be exact.
a South Philly. Kevin, get off the screen. And in the blue corner, we have from Alden, PA. Alden, correct?
Alden.
Kevin Merkel.
Alden. What's up, guys? I'm excited to be here.
All right. And for our audience members out there, they are our boxing correspondents. Now, guys, we're going to start the show with a couple topics. The way this works is that we're going to have 5 rounds, 5 different questions, all relevant to the boxing world. And we're going to do a 10-point must system. So I'm going to evaluate who has the best scores. And let's do this. So the first question we're going to go and we're going to take turns is about Gennady Golovkin. He is taking on Marco Antonio Rubio this weekend, and it is supposed to be a good fight. It seems the title of the fight is called Mexican Style, which is a style that Gennady Golovkin has claimed he likes himself. Jermaine, how do you see this one playing out? It's supposed to be a slugfest.
I see it playing out how pretty much all Gennady Golovkin fights paying out. A knockout. He's getting the matchup that he wanted. Maybe it'd be a little bit more exciting, but it's still gonna have the same outcome. Knockout, 7th round, Triple G.
Triple G, 7th round. Kevin, let's swing it over to you.
You know what? I agree with you, Jermaine. I believe this fight's going to be an all-out brawl. I think Golovkin's on the brink of stardom, and on the other hand, I'm going to have to disagree. I will agree with Jermaine, 7th round knockout, but I'm going to have to go with Rubio. You can't ignore his 51 knockouts, and I think the punching power, the sheer punching power, is going to knock out Golovkin, 7th round.
Oh, that's a bold prediction, my man.
He threw a curveball.
I thought you were gonna go with Golovkin there because he's the favorite. You know what? That's a close round because it is a possibility just because there is a puncher's chance in boxing, as we all know. But Gennady Golovkin's the hot fighter right now. 30 knockouts, wins, 27 knockouts. I'm just gonna have to give him the nod, and for that, I'm gonna give Jermaine that round. That's a 10-9 round for Jermaine. Quality effort there. Hey, the fight is not over yet. So, Jermaine, 10 points for you, 9 points for you. And if you couldn't tell, this is an open scoring system, like Texas in some fights.
All right, Tony, reality.
Yeah, there you go. All right. All right, moving on. So that was the middleweight division, 160 pounds. Let's move up to the light heavyweight division. And we're going to swing around through different divisions and different topics throughout this episode. But now let's swing over to the fight that's highly anticipated. Bernard Hopkins versus Sergey Kovalev. Now, this is a fight at 175. And Hopkins is, a very technical fighter. And it's Kovalev who's they call him the Crusher for a reason. He has a lot of power. And that's why it's going to be a pretty interesting fight. A lot of people are kind of picking, it's kind of a toss-up, but some people are putting the slight edge to Kovalev. Kevin, this one's for you. How do you see this one playing out?
Well, the 49-year-old Hopkins will certainly put up a heck of a fight, but I think in the end, I think Kovalev's going to be too much for Hopkins to handle. So I'm taking Kovalev, unanimous decision.
Unanimous decision? Man, you are bold with these predictions. I mean, he is a knockout artist. I mean, it's possible because if you think about it, Hopkins has never been knocked out in his career. So he does have a very strong chin. So, I mean, that is a possibility. But with Kovalev's power, it's either a lot of people are saying either Hopkins wins on the cards or it's Kovalev with the knockout. But that's a bold prediction. I like that. Now, Jermaine, let's swing it over to you.
I agree with Kevin in some of his points. B-Hop is a wily old vet. I'm going to take Kovalev only if he knocks Bernard Hopkins out. If you do not knock Bernard Hopkins out, I take Bernard Hopkins in a split decision.
You're taking Hopkins, huh?
Only if Kovalev does not knock him out. He has to knock him out to get the win. If he don't knock him out, I do not think he get the win. I think Bernard Hopkins get the win in split decision.
you think is that because potentially because it's almost the hometown crowd? Atlantic City is not too far from Philadelphia.
It's not too far, but Kovalev actually fights out of Atlantic City, so it's kind of like even each other out. I just feel like the wily vet is going to get that nudge from the judges if he does not get knocked out, or at least
That's a
not.
very close round. That's an interesting point. You know what, Jermaine? I really like your answer there, but I'm gonna have to give this one to Kevin just because Kovalev. Yeah, I think Kovalev. I don't know about that decision though. You guys both gave good answers, so I'm gonna give that round to Kevin. But it was a very close round. Jermaine, excellent points on your half as well.
It's gonna be a lively fight, man.
It's gonna be a good fight.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. So we're going. So we got 10. So we're even through two. That's how we got so far. That's how I have it. All right. Now let's swing it over to. Let's go to the middle. Well, yeah, let's go to the 154-pound division or 160 back towards that end of the thing spectrum. Now, Canelo Alvarez, as we know, was supposed to fight on December 6th. He just signed with HBO, but in his first fight, he had to pull out because because he hurt his ankle, and he was supposed to fight Joshua Clottey. Now it looks like he might fight in May against Miguel Cotto, is a potential opponent, or Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. That's another potential opponent. But there's some competition now because Canelo Alvarez says he wants to fight on May 2nd, which is a date that is pretty synonymous with Floyd Mayweather. Now, Floyd Mayweather said he dares Miguel Cotto and Canelo to fight on that day. Now, if that was the case, who do you think sells more pay-per-views, and who do you think might have the edge in that Canelo Cotto fight? So it's kind of a two-part question. Now we're gonna swing it over to Jermaine first.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get exactly what are you asking? Who has the edge and what?
Pay-per-view stuff. So if let's say Floyd Mayweather fights on May 2nd, and so does Canelo and Cotto. Let's say that's the fight.
Okay.
And Floyd Mayweather fights just anyone, a fighter X.
Okay.
Do you think Floyd can still outsell Cotto and Canelo?
Oh, hands down, hands down. At this point, it's no competition with that. Floyd.
Even if
Floyd is the.
even if Canelo and Cotto fought each other?
Yes, I still take because it's like Floyd gets the people. He reels them in with some of his antics, some of the what is it, Showtime Access and his trash talk. People likes that. You're not going to get too much trash talking from Cotto and Alvarez pre-fight. You're not going to really get that. Floyd is a bigger salesman than probably just as equal as he is a fighter. So yes, I'm taking Floyd pay-per-view sales. Now, what will be the better fight? I believe hands down will be the Alvarez Cotto.
Who do you think might have the edge? It's too early to predict, but that's a good fight. They'll probably at a catch weight because Canelo right now is at 154. Cotto is technically at 160, although he can easily probably move back down to 154. Who do you think has the side? Who do you think has the edge in that one?
I'm gonna say Cotto's been looking really good. I'm gonna say Cotto, slight edge for Cotto.
Yeah, I can see that because with the new, he's under the wing of Freddie Roach now, a little bit new mentor. Yeah, that could play out. Kevin, what say you? Let's bring it over to you.
All right, so say both fights happen May 2nd. You get a fight Canelo Alvarez versus Miguel Cotto. Any night, that fight's going to be big time, big buzz. But it's on the same night as any Mayweather fight. They're going to lose, hands down. Like he said, Mayweather is just a businessman, and there's always an extra buzz when Mayweather fights. No matter what night, no matter who he fights, if Mayweather fights, there's always going to be an extra buzz. And I think he sells more tickets.
Exactly. I've had women come to me like, "Oh, did you hear about the fight?" And it's always with Mayweather. I never heard it about any other fight.
That's true to the casual fan, but yeah, in most cases, the casual fan will buy a Floyd Mayweather fight over, Cotto or Canelo fight. But for the diehard boxing fans at this point, aside from Pacquiao and Mayweather, unless that fight were to happen on May 2nd, I don't want to jump into this, but I think that Canelo and Cotto do have a chance to pass Mayweather if he were to fight a guy that were, maybe Khan or maybe a little bit of an unknown. I think some of the fans, I think, are getting fed up with these fights that they don't. If it's not a top-notch fighter, which I'm not saying Madonna wasn't. Madonna was a pretty solid fighter. But if it's not a huge name, I think that they actually might pick a guy like Cotto and Canelo over. I think it's one of the most desired fights in the sport. So just putting my 2 cents in there real quick.
Well, I have to say, let me interrupt you. All the boxing promoters, the people that are in boxing, they're going to like that fight more so than the Mayweather fight. But the overall fan, the overall person, is going to like the Mayweather fight over both of those guys. That's my personal opinion.
Right. I feel like the majority of the people that buy the pay-per-views and stuff are not avid boxing fans. They're casual boxing fans. So with that, Mayweather is going to draw that crowd than Alvarez Cotto.
And speaking of draw, I'm gonna have to give that round even because I thought both of you guys made pretty fair points, and though it might not be with my personal belief, I think you guys made some good points there, and you guys kind of piggybacked off each other. So I gotta give that one even. That's a pretty close fight. It's even through 3. Might have to go. Too bad there's no overtime in boxing. But let's see. The next 2 rounds are crucial. These are the championship rounds here. So talking about Mayweather opponents, potential opponents, it looks like Amir Khan is going to fight Robert Guerrero on December 6th at possibly the Barclays Center. So if that fight were to transpire, who do you guys think will win, and how do you guys think this will play out for Khan? If he were to win, does he get a Mayweather fight, or does Mayweather still bypass over him? Who do we start with last? Let's start with Kevin.
All right, I think that this is a must-win for Amir Khan if he wants any shot at getting a chance to fight Floyd Mayweather. But ultimately, in the end, I think his weak jaw is going to be his downfall, and I think he gets knocked out by Guerrero. I'm saying round 9.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a bold prediction. It's possible. I mean, it depends on the style of the fight. Now, Khan is a very technical guy, so he's going to try to use that hand speed to his advantage. And Guerrero's going to try to make it like a real brawl, some of those rabbit punches and really try to make it rugged. So, I mean, I could definitely see that. Now, in his last fight, Guerrero had a brawl with the fighter's name slips my mind, but it was a really good fight, and it was back and forth. And he actually got kind of hurt in that fight, too. So, yeah, I mean, that's definitely a possible outcome. Jermaine, what do you have to say about it?
Between Khan and Guerrero, I predict I'm just going to have enough faith in Khan that he's not going to let Guerrero fight his fight. He's going to fight his fight. Khan is going to fight the fight that he wants, and I'm going to say that the technical boxer outwits the rugged brawler in Guerrero, and I'm going to say Khan with the decision.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. That's definitely a possible outcome as well. I mean, it's all, boxing, anything's possible. I mean, that's definitely a likely scenario. Now, just want to get your thoughts on, so if Khan wins, do you think he gets Mayweather next? Do you think he will prove himself to earn that fight in May?
I feel like would that be enough for him to earn a Mayweather fight? To me, no. To Floyd, yes. Floyd has been he's been ducking Pacquiao.
Coming out. That was pretty.
At this point, that's what everyone wants to see, and he claims he want to give the fans what they want, but the Pacquiao is just not in discussion. And I feel like he's feeling the pressure, but he's so arrogant within himself that he would purposely not take the fight because that's what everyone's telling him he has to do.
Wow, that was I was kind of mind blown from that because just how defendant of Floyd Mayweather you have been in the past. Yeah. You're almost siding with Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to see the big one. I'm ready for the big one.
That is, my friends, is a 10-8 round. That stunned me. That had Kevin off balance. That had all of us off balance. That's a 10-8 round for maybe even a 10-7 round. But I think Kevin staggered, made the final bell. 10-8 round for Jermaine. That was pretty stunning. Finally,
I got knocked down, man.
You got knocked down, man. Everyone got knocked down. That was surprising coming from you, Jermaine. Such a big Floyd defender too. And that's gonna bring us to our last round, the champion, final round, Floyd Mayweather. You can kind of elaborate on what you've just been talking about, but the whole feud with Stephen A. Smith. Now, we'll talk about that in a second, but I want to just say, so piggybacking off what you were just saying, Jermaine. So Floyd Mayweather's dad said that the fight's definitely going to happen, and then Floyd comes out and says, "Look, no, my father doesn't know what he's talking about, right?" And then he's firing all these people. Leonard Ellerby's up to question. Rafael Garcia, the cut man, all these guys are up to question. So, Floyd looks like he's clearing house. He doesn't look like, he's staying loyal to some of these guys who have been with him for such a long time. Now, I don't want to, react too soon, but I want to see what you guys have to say about that. So, Jermaine, we'll start with you since you're the Floyd expert over there. What do you make of the Stephen A. the Steve A.
He's already rolling.
I feel like first, this is a sign. This is a sign clearly that Floyd is feeling pressure, and that situation right there really swayed me to feel the way I feel. You have Stephen A. Smith, avid Floyd fan, avid Floyd supporter, been on the TV First Take talking about how he feels that Floyd will beat Pacquiao hands down, will give him a boxing lesson. I felt the same way. Now, when you have your trainer, your father, someone closest to you, telling you that the fight is going to happen, but you quick to back out of that, I feel like that right there is all the proof I needed to prove that Floyd is. I will go out on a limb and say might be a little scared of Pacquiao or scared of what he might do. He's scared of the loss. He's scared of the damage that he could take. He's looking scared.
Wow, that's Jermaine. You're having like an epiphany here. Mid show, man. You know what? Here's the thing. I don't completely dispute. I think at this point, yeah, Mayweather could win easy. If Mayweather could win so easy, why not just take the fight, right? I mean, this is a guy that can win easy, so he says, and he wins every time, right? At one point, they were talking about the winner takes like 10% or something. If he knew he was going to win, if he's so confident, just bet. He's a gambling man. Why not bet 40%? Or he said he wants to bet against Madonna. Why not just throw in the pot, right? I mean, he's gonna win if so he proclaims.
Right, and especially I feel like the way he fought his last two fights, though it was the same person, though it was a style that he was not, I guess, like used to. I guess you could say. Floyd looked bad. He looked bad. So it's like now it's like okay, now the pressure is on because I look bad. And Pacquiao didn't look the best, but he didn't look as bad as Floyd did. So it's like, no, I'm not ready for this fight or something. That's just the vibe I'm getting. I don't know, of course, but he's letting me down. I'm a little disappointed in Floyd Mayweather.
Wow, that's coming out there. All right. Yeah, no, I didn't really think he actually looked that bad. I thought he looked sharp enough to win the fight. I maybe slowed down a little bit. He got caught with like one pretty good shot, but for the most part, he was still pretty solid. But not his best performance, but not really. I thought he did He did an adequate job. He did what he had to do to win the fight. Boxed a little bit more than the first fight, and it was an okay fight. I mean, but yeah, we'll have to see what happens the next time out. Now, Kevin, you've been following the situation pretty closely with Stephen A. and his dad and everything. I know you're kind of a big Stephen A. fan as well. What do you make of the whole situation with Floyd and Stephen A. and everything else?
Well, first of all, I want to say, he did look bad the first fight. He just looked like he was taken out of his comfort zone. But the second fight, he really looked like he got back to his old self. I think he really controlled that fight the way he wanted to. With that being said, first of all, his dad, he was probably wrong for coming out and saying that the fight's going to happen. But I think Floyd was equally as wrong just going out in public and publicly, like, ridiculing his dad, saying he was wrong. He should have took care of that behind closed doors. As far as Stephen A., I think he's someone that's been in his corner for so long. He's close with him. And Stephen A. was just, he may be wrong, he may be right, but he's just making a point. He's saying if he fights Khan, he's taking the easy way out. he's not saying that he has to fight Pacquiao. He's saying if he fights the other two guys, Alvarez or Cotto, then he'd be okay with it. Also, with that being said, I think it just seems to me like he doesn't want to fight Pacquiao. He wants to go out and be undefeated. That's what he wants. He wants his legacy to be undefeated. And he just doesn't seem like he's going to bend to give the people the show that they want.
Yeah, I agree with that, and that's an excellent point you made over there, and that was very well put, actually. Surprising, but very well put. Yeah, the thing with Stephen A., I actually disagree with him a little bit. Maybe Cotto, but I already saw him fight Canelo. I don't really want to see him fight Canelo again. He picked them apart. I don't really care. It's only been a year.
Definitely disagree with the rematch with Alvarez. If it's not Cotto or Pacquiao, I don't want to see the Alvarez fight. It wasn't close enough for a rematch.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Right.
It was. I don't think the rematch is warranted. If he wants to fight anyone else out there, I wouldn't be opposed to Keith Thurman, possibly Danny Garcia. If Gennady Golovkin, it's a fight fan's dream, but I doubt it happens if they could somehow meet at 154. I think that would be an awesome fight, but I just don't see that one happening. So for Floyd, I think it's going to be contingent on Khan. I think that's the guy that they're going to rely on. If he falls through, they'll probably pick some guy in the middle of that pack in the welterweight division, and that's kind of where I think they'll leave it. I really don't see too many other options out there for him. You guys, anything else?
You know what? I agree. I don't really see those other guys being that much of a better fight than Khan. I think it's go big or go home. He's got to fight Pacquiao, or else he's going to one day look back and he's going to regret it. But not fighting Pacquiao. Always going to be in the back of his mind, no matter what he says.
They can conceivably do two fights. He's got two fights left, man. Even if Floyd wins the first one, like he did with Madonna, give him a second one. That was the. Yeah. I mean, if it depends on what the result is, but if you can make so much money, the highest paid athlete in the sport in the world, take the fight, man. Make even more money if you proclaim yourself as Money May. Come on, take that fight.
I agree.
Any final thoughts? And then I'll give the last round up.
You going to the fight?
Which one?
The Hopkins fight, Atlantic City.
Yeah, I don't know yet. We'll see.
All right.
But yeah. All right, Kevin. I'm gonna give you that round. I thought you did an excellent job. Well said. Kind of mundane.
Taking you down, Jermaine.
I don't know.
I think I win on the scorecards.
All right. Let's tally up the scores. You gotta wait. Wait for it. If my calculations are correct, the first time, so basically
I've been Michael Buffer over there.
Yeah, right. Not quite. Now this belt is up for grabs. It was you guys had a fight for it. No one was champion. We're gonna come back, and the new champion from South Philadelphia with the title of 58 to 57. Jermaine Perry. Jermaine. Right, Jermaine. Quality win for you.
We need the rematch.
Yeah, the rematch. That will be next week when we have some more topics. So that we touched on a lot tonight, which is awesome. This first edition went pretty well. Jermaine, I'm going to give you 30 seconds or whatever amount. Is about 30 seconds if you want any closing thoughts about anything boxing related. And you can go now if you have anything on your mind.
Okay, I just gotta talk about the biggest issue, this Floyd Mayweather thing. Floyd, I am a believer in your abilities. I love to see you fight. I love the attractions you bring. But enough is enough. We need Pacquiao or Cotto or even Keith Thurman. I would be okay with Keith Thurman as well. But it's time to stop and just get the top-notch contenders in the ring so you could beat them, because I believe you will, and so we could have a pay-per-view worth seeing. That's it.
All right. Well said, Jermaine. Very well said. I enjoyed both of you as contestants. We're going to try to rotate our contestants, those who contribute to the Fight Corner news page, and we're going to try to get these guys back for sure. Definitely a great matchup between two heavyweights, literally and figuratively.
You know it.
Yeah, you guys will have to duke it out for real. But no, great job, guys. Well done. And we're going to try to continue this series next week. Jermaine, you hold the belt for this week. But Kevin, there's always a chance for you next week, and study up. We'll get you the topics.
I'll be training.
You'll be training. You'll be sparring. You guys spar. Whatever you got to do. All right, that's going to do it for...
All right, I'll talk to you guys next week.
All right, so that's going to do it for Red Corner versus Blue Corner. I'm Evan Smith. Take it easy, guys.